insert coin. Back to split, legging hits to the groin. Live in Mortal Kombat vs. Shao Kahn. Resemble dad and mom just to face my fear. I had not to care to conquer life. Needed balls, bollocks, cojones to embrace aloneness. Hearing your life's less made my decisions lifeless, but I digress. You 90s rulers of life a mess by your behest. We do all what you say for a quest. Intention the best creates intended tension. Thinking there's secrets in the Snowden. Mad after facts out and about, so we spout hate to what we create. An endless cycle, the fate we articulate, capitulate. Forward checkmate on a checkerboard. Rise on a rip call to see pots, pans. Looking up for fellow follow fans who sing praise and worship under all. But we can't have that unwanted subscription. We only subscribe to accomplish aspirations for those we say
I can go anywhere.
What's up, guys? It's Nicole Michelle, and you are listening to Beyond Borders with Rose Gold and Kid Gravity.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely those of the host, Beyond Borders Media. And trust me, if you hear something you didn't like, go do your research.
folks, it's a great week. I'm kidding. If you're in America right now, it was not that great, especially in the middle, because black people watched white people act a fool. Even though I was there, y'all know that. And there were some black people roaming around, but it wasn't, it wasn't no BLM riot or whatever. But I'm still I still have a little bit to go. I'm still recovering just a little bit, but hopefully my guest today will enlighten my spirits and we can put a nice little recent debate that has come up in the sector of Black YouTube and in some points mainstream media. It's called the high value man, and the word femininity that has been coming up a lot for the last 2 years. There's been wars raged, Me Too, and every other sector of love and relationships. But I'm no expert on this, so I brought me an expert. The expert said she'd be fine to come on and explain what femininity really means. Because, of course, I'm a man and I can't explain what femininity is. Because if I do that, I'll have the feminine females come after me. And the ones that claim this will come after me anyway because it's trendy. So I'd like to introduce my guest, Nicole Michelle. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself, and then we're going to get into it.
Hello, thanks for having me, Kid Gravity. I appreciate it. I'm Nicole Michelle, founder and femininity influencer for the Inner Beauty Movement. And you can find me at Inner Beauty TV by Nicole Michelle right here on YouTube. And we are all about helping women from all over reconnect with their femininity and understanding what type of relationship that they will be best suited for so that they can become the best women, wives, and mothers for their families and society.
Now, we've got to ask. Let's just come out the gate with it. Where are you located? If you don't mind. You don't have to tell it.
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Folks, she's in the ATL. That is swiftly becoming the Black metropolis, is it not, folk? Everybody named Mama coming down there. And if all goes well, my family and I will be down there at the end of the month. So go ahead and tell me another New Yorker coming down here. Go ahead, tell me y'all need to go stay up there.
You already knew what my heart was. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
As long as you bring in some flavor, good. Okay.
Well, I'm Jamaican, but y'all got enough down there. I'm moderate politically, so that should help some of the balance. Good. And I have a car, so I won't be a strain on y'all's martyr.
You're funny. You know.
Oh, folk, I get off a good one every now and then. But yeah, let's get into it. You know what? Let's make you a little bigger because I had followed your channel in the past. It was like about 3-4 years ago when you were on other platforms, and then you, I guess, found your niche, and then you surpassed a lot of these other creators. We won't mention names here because I'm not trying to start no wars yet. I just got to 100 subscribers. I don't need none of their people coming over here, even though I do respect them. Because I know how it is on YouTube. You got an army behind you and you say something wrong, that person's army is coming after you. So we're going to keep it respectful here. We always keep it respectful. Oh, we got a comment already. What is this? Oh, it's Frank. What's up, Frank? View for the Man Cave. Great content. Great content.
Yes.
Yes, great content. I wonder if he brought me some back from Dubai. I asked him for some sand. I don't think he brought it, though. I don't think you get that through customs. I'm just saying. I'm not going down. Yes. Yeah, I'm not going down to middle America to go get it. But anyway, yes. So you preach femininity. Yes. So for the folk, what is your definition of femininity? Because I don't want to give them the Webster's Dictionary version because they won't go look for it.
Well, I teach women it's a mindset more so than aesthetics, although aesthetics is a part of it. It's a component. But femininity is a mindset from the position of a woman as opposed to the masculine. So you're going to view the world through a feminine or film, FEMME lens.
Not film, folk. Get y'all's 50 Shades of Grey selves. You gotta have an open mind. There ain't no Christian Greys around here. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
So that's okay. So femininity is the attitude towards life. It's just basically an attitude. It's a mindset. Yes.
Cool. Attitude and mindset.
Yes.
Oh, you said the A word.
Attitude.
Oh, you said it. I didn't have to say it. You said it. Folk, we know from my Black peoples here, and this will be on audio as well. So I have a large following in India for some god-awful reason, but shout out to them because India likes content. And we know in the Western world, attitude counts for a lot. Yes. We've heard the sentences. Why you being extra? Why you got to say it like that? It's your delivery. So, of course, attitude goes a long way. So how do you view attitude, and how should men and women approach attitude for a relationship?
Well, attitude can make or break a connection. If you come from a negative Nancy position, then quite honestly, you're going to attract negative energy, vibes, connections. So I encourage people to learn as much as they can about womanhood and manhood, femininity and masculinity before entering relationships, because I believe attitude really comes from a place of fear and the unknown. Bad experiences, yes.
Say that last sentence again for the people who are about to pick out their outfit for the club tonight down in your city.
Attitude comes from bad experiences, and it comes from unknown and fear.
Unknown and fear. Aren't relationships scary?
Yes, they can be.
Yes, they can be. Especially nowadays. You don't know who you're meeting because everybody has to put on a facade. It's like an auction. That's what I call relationships today. It's auction. You're putting out a front, and then it's like my mom says, once you get comfortable with someone, then all their bad habits show up. And then you're like, what happened? I got to talk about it because I hear you talk about this a lot, especially on Clubhouse. Yes, folks, I'm just going to say it again to people that don't ever listen. I had to get this. I still don't understand this phone. I don't understand how y'all do it.
Manual.
It didn't even come with a manual. So it's like, open the box, make sure it's charged, and figure it out for yourself. Thank you for the $200-some down payment you gave us.
Right.
Whatever. I'll learn it probably in 2025. Anyway, we talking about, I guess, fear. let's talk about fear.
Sure.
Why are we so scared as Black people to get into these relationships and give our all to these relationships?
Well, it's a lot of moving parts. A lot of it comes from our experiences as a child and what we saw, mom and dad, mom and stepdaddy, daddy and stepmommy, whatever we saw, grandparents. And if our experiences were scary or traumatic, that kind of played on a person's soul. They have soul wounds, is what I call them. Soul wounds. And so those wounds are left to fester. It's like when you cut yourself and you don't put anything, iodine or some type of peroxide or something on that wound to help it heal. What does it do? It festers. It may become infected. It gets worse. And so what ends up just being a small cut or turns into something larger. And so that's exactly what happens to our soul wounds. Left unattended, they get worse. And so now we become grown children in regards to relationships. So we're so afraid we don't see another adult. We're looking at relationships from a wounded child. Whatever age that trauma happened, we're looking at relationships from that standpoint. So without professional therapy, I know a lot of church people are going to have my head when I say that, but without a professional therapist who's trained to dissect the mind, to unpack those traumas and really deal with them. And also with God or whoever you serve, I serve God, I'm Christian. With those two combined and a willingness to move forward, then those fears can be diminished. And also knowledge about relationships, which is my job, is to help you gain knowledge. So things in alignment, you'll be fine.
She said the C word, folks. I didn't say it. Not today. She brought up church. Oh, you know how hey, nothing wrong with that. Bless. I know that's blasphemous. I'm agnostic, but it's okay. We know the church sometimes influences relationships. We know this. Yeah. I've heard people say, listen, why don't you come to my church? Dude's like, I don't want to be in your church. You gonna hit me with that rhetoric. I don't want to hear that. I'm just trying to, do what it do. Do you feel as though the church is not as helpful with these relationships as they used to be? Because people would seek the guidance of the pastor or one of them deacons if they're getting really serious with someone. But nowadays it's like it's still a separation, because we know Black men don't go to the church like that anymore, like they used to. It's mostly just women now, and then they take their cues through life with everything from the good book. So do you think that the church is harming relationships, or you feel like they're not doing enough to help foster these relationships?
Personally, I feel like they're not doing enough. They used to be extremely influential in the Black community when it came to economics, when it came to politics, when it came to families, helping the poor. The church, the Black church, was where Black people went, whether you were a Christian or not. You went to the Black church for leadership. Some of our greatest leaders came out of the Baptist church. So I don't want to get too deep, but they came out of the Christian church. And so that is where we received a lot of influence. I believe the church has moved away from a lot of the principles of the Bible as a whole. I believe they've taken a more passive role when it comes to educating people not only about Christ, but also about family, because they're one and the same. They're one and the same, right? Because Christ always talks about being the head of the church. Well, in relation, the man is the head of the family. The Bible teaches that. So the church has gotten away from that. People ask me, does the Black church keep women single? And I say no, because they'll go to the club and then get up and go to church the next day. So is that the church keeping them single, or is that their individual decision to stay single? So that's my 2 cents.
folk, when y'all hear this on the audio, I had my mouth covered when she said that the man was the head of the household and the church is not keeping black women single. I couldn't believe she said that. And I know it's gonna come out her head for that. So whatever. I endorse that, by the way, because I have this theory with men. Excuse me. We're judged on three things. We're judged on who we are, what our family looks like, and how we keep our house. If those three things are not in order, we're going to lose out on opportunities. We know this. Back in the day, those executives, what did they always do at Christmas? Always brought their wives. And based on how your wife looks or her personality, everybody like, oh, wow, you know, she's really nice. Things like that. But nowadays, we have all the women that want to be liberated. So they'll still show up at the Christmas party, except they'll have a backless dress and they'll have a big old tattoo on their back. I've even seen a tattoo of a woman had her son on her back. I don't understand how a dude is going to make love to you. I'm going to keep it PG here. And he has to stare at that. That'd be kind of weird. But that's not, to me, feminine. That's more of, I don't care. You got to take me how I is. And I think that's our attitude today. You got to take me how I am. And I'll build when I want to build. If you don't want to deal with that, then you could get on. So we see that attitude a lot. And then compound that with what goes on in the media. We have a lot of people that are just wild. It's like trying to take two live wires and trying to put them together. You just, every time you put them together, boom, you separate. So black people, you better listen to her. She'll help you. I know she ain't what's the chick name? Ayanna Van Zandt. She's not on her own network, but you know what? She probably stole some of your ideas. I'm just saying you better look through her archives. She might have. Just saying. Over a thief. Anyway, we're talking with Nicole Michelle. She helps men and women navigate relationships and gives them the tools needed to sustain those relationships in marriage. Let's get into the controversies.
Okay.
I was in your clubhouse room.
Uh-oh.
The last week. Somebody said the two magic words, and how you Christians say it? I felt your spirit. You were about to go off. You were about to go Fulton County.
Oh Lord.
Now, I follow this individual way before they blew up. And I understand how someone of your background and the work you've put in, you might not take too kindly to this person. I get it. We need to talk about Kevin Samuels. Because when that person mentioned that name, I felt the heat. There's people that absolutely love that man. There's people in the middle like me. Yeah, okay, I'm married, so his stuff, it doesn't really pertain to me, but you know, it's good entertainment. Plus, I also watched him way before he blew up when he was doing the cologne reviews and what suits to get, things like that. Then there's the people that absolutely hate his guts because they think he's just, you know, a flash in the pan and he just talking. And, you know, they call him gay or whatever. But like I said, when I was in that clubhouse room and that person said them two words together, you were going to go off. I felt it, but you dialed it back because, of course, you're the leader of the room and you dictate the room. So I just want your opinion on Kevin Samuels. Is he doing what needs to be done in the community, or do you feel like he's just catering for shock?
So let me set context. I've been knowing Kevin Samuels before I came to YouTube officially. We actually collabed on Facebook. So if you go back to my old Facebook, you'll see me and him collabing. So we've been talking offline, you know, maybe doing a little bit more, but that's neither here nor there. So in terms of supporting his content, I've always supported his content, especially when we talked back in the early days. He was very, very passionate about helping brothers. And I thought that that was complementary to the inner beauty movement. Because I was still fresh and new, I didn't want to get too entrenched with other movements until I could catch my breath and establish my identity in my niche. So he was very, very passionate about helping Black men. And I thought that that was awesome. You know, and the cologne and the image consulting, that together was just like where his heart was, right? And I saw how he received so much pushback from the brothers. So fast forward to the viral video, I'm like, the only thing that I had a problem with, Kevin, was the hostility as a coach in that moment. But overall, if you watch somebody, every video they do, and you support them, you're gonna not agree on everything. And that particular exchange, I was like, ooh, that they picked that to go viral. And now that I know him personally, I'm like, I'm not hang out with best friends, but I mean, we have a rapport. So I'm like, yeah, okay. They took that little piece and blew up out of all his content. Why didn't they make the viral video? Why didn't they make his videos where he was going in on brothers about helping them? Why didn't they make that go viral? So from that standpoint, they kind of set him up to be this big villain. And I don't think a lot of brothers that are caping for him and Godfather this and Godfather that, where were you when they were calling him a GAY for helping Black men? Where were you when he was telling you all to wear suits and get your money up? Where were you when he was talking about all those things? But now that it's geared towards women, now he has all this support. I feel like it's superficial based on where this video kind of put him where that's not really where he wanted to be, but he's gonna ride it out because that's what's hot right now. But if you look over his body of work, it's always been about Black men. It's always been about helping them improve their image. And they gave him such pushback. So I'm like, why are you upset with the women for giving him pushback when it was Black men? Because he hasn't always had a female audience. It was Black men who supported his channel. And they were the ones that were upset doing videos calling him, part of that community, saying that, all that was Black men. Black women were not even paying attention to him because his content wasn't about them. So when I bring him up, I want to be as clear as possible that I'm not dragging him. I'm not against him. We may have creative differences as content creators, but that one video helped define his entire existence on YouTube from the Black male perspective. I felt like you only saw a glimpse of Kevin, not his body. Now, maybe they're going back over his videos and getting a more clear understanding, but I thought that was kind of hypocritical because where were you? Where was all this defense for Kevin when they were calling him out of his name? You know what I mean? And that was Black men doing that, not Black women.
Yes, man. Because remember, I was there in the days when he was doing it on the purple wall, and he was getting a lot of views. And then, of course, World Star, being the cesspool that it is, blew that man up. And like you said, now he's the villain. So it kind of sucks because I know he does his content. He wants everybody to succeed. But the fact that the brothers, and that's another thing too, and I'm going to have to knock the brothers on this. You guys don't support stuff. We don't. We claim that it's always the women's fault. I mean, yes, they have their hands in it, but we have to take some accountability as well, because you even see now in his comment section, like he'll put up, like he'll do the 3-hour live stream and then he'll cut out a certain portion of it. And of course, this is usually the woman not looked in the best light. And then you go through the comments and the dudes are like going in, and I'm like, dude, why don't y'all just take that energy and go over to the female sector and do that? But y'all won't do that because you know what's going to happen if you go over there with that.
I could name 2 YouTubers right now that if they even said hi in the chat room, it's like, so.
Say them names because it's on YouTube. Say them names. Boost my views. Go ahead.
I mean, Crystal Swirls.
Oh,
I
Lord.
watch her just for the entertainment. I promise you, they will not go to her channel with that heat. I promise you.
I know
They will say everything they want to say over there, but if they go to Crystal Swirls' channel, shout out to Crystal Swirls. She keeps me laughing, honey. She is entertainment.
I have to ask you about that after you're done.
Yes.
I'm confused on that sector a little bit.
Sure.
But what was the other name?
Tanya TKO. Tanya TKO, they will not go to her heat. They will not go to her channel with that heat. They want to do it with Cynthia G. They want to.
Yeah.
You know, she goes back and forth with them because she gets off on that because she likes the intellectual exchange. She likes to feel superior to them intellectually, and she usually, right, because they get emotional. So,
correct.
But Tanya TKO, Crystal Swirls, you go over there. Brothers don't go over there. They don't mess with them. And they won't. There's another YouTuber. She's very small. She changes her name a lot. I don't want to say Cookie Monster or Cookie or something like that. I've been to her channel a couple of times, and let me tell you, she goes off on the women. She goes off on the men. There is no safe person. Like, it's an equal opportunity offender. A woman after my own heart. So you go over there, picking a fight with her, you're gonna get your head knocked off. And they go and they choose soft targets. They'll even come to my channel and write in the chat or harass people who've commented on my videos. And I'm like, or they used to come in my chats and harass the women because they knew I was going to allow them to come in and speak their piece, but they abused it. And then when I blocked them, now it's Nicole doesn't want men to have their say. No, you thought you had a soft target. You thought you could come over here and abuse the space because I have plenty of males come in and they're modding. They're, you know, so it's not that, but you want to come in and harass my customers. You want to come in and harass.
You're going to mess up my business now. Now I'm about to start cutting them.
What you doing?
I'm a stone ground y'all like some grits that we got down in Georgia. You heard what I said?
Right. So, no, you don't get, and I've told these women this is a safe space to come talk to Auntie. And you come over there, you can, and I think it's because they see the pictures that I'm known for having beautiful women following my movement because I do. Some of the most beautiful feminine women. I'm talking like, fellas, you want a wife? Follow me. So they come over there and get nervous, and they may say something that they don't like, or they just picking fights at the women. I'm like, the ladies of my movement, you don't have to pick a fight with them. They're not your enemy. They actually like you. You don't pick fights with the inner beauty movement. You pick fights over there, but you won't go to Crystal Swirls because she's gonna give you that work. See, and I'm not gonna disrespect you as a black man. I'm gonna block you and I'm gonna tell you off, but I'm not gonna.
That's disrespect, though. Remember, that's disrespect. And they'll come back in your comment section and say, "Oh, you can't handle a strong black man." I know that statement's coming soon. I know it because they learned from their mama. But you know, we're not gonna get on. We're not gonna get on the black mama today. Not today. Maybe next month. We'll see. Depends on how you feel, and if we're still here, you know, because they got 10 more days, and then life is over.
Oh Lord. Wear your mask, baby. Wear your mask, because Atlanta is lit. You would never think we were in an epidemic down, a pandemic down.
I have family down there. Y'all don't wear a mask. I went to DC. Nobody wears a mask. Nobody wore their mask. I'm the only one. I look like an idiot.
No, yeah, folks are chilling down here. Like
I guess maybe it's because you guys got open air. I guess you think that's gonna filter the shit.
No, it's Atlanta. We are a very high intensity, fast pace. Not as fast as New York, of course, but for the South, it's very.
Yes, as I call it, I jokingly call it the New York of the South.
Yeah, get in where you fit in, or you're gonna get left behind. So people just do whatever they want to do.
And I lost my camera. Of course I did, but whatever. I'm still cute. Anyway, so back to. I actually have a nice little opinion question for you. Now that you brought up those female content creators, let's say we'll take a group of them, the ones that you follow.
Okay.
And one of them came to you in an email and said, I kind of want to change. I kind of want to do what you do, but not intrude on your lane. Who do you think can transition the best?
If they wanted to, teach femininity?
Yeah.
That would never happen. They will adopt some things that they like about the message, which YouTube content creators are already doing. You know,
correct.
They're already taking bits and pieces of my message and kind of,
twisting it so it can make it seem like they said it.
Right. So it makes me look like I'm out here telling women to get over on men. Right. Because they take bits and pieces of what they like about femininity. For example, a lot of femininity content creators are not teaching femininity. They're teaching the aesthetics, the basics, the easy parts of femininity to get a man with money, to get a man to ease their financial stress, but not to make themselves as better women. It's a lot of catchphrases, and people do what they do. People are in this for different reasons. I'm on YouTube for marketing. So if my videos sound very markety, because they're supposed to be, right? But a lot of people are on here for AdSense, and I'm not knocking that. Get it how you get it. But I do care about what women intake. And if they view femininity as a gimmick, if they view femininity as a way to get over on these men, that's heartbreaking and hard for me, because I know that's going to fail. And I know eventually, that's why I always say time is on my side, because I know when they go to certain places on YouTube, they're going to get bad information and they're going to be right back to Auntie Nicole, because it's not going to work. I've been in this too long. I've lived too long. And I know that some of the stuff they're getting sounds good as a young woman. You're hot, you're popping. Men are telling you you're beautiful and all that's great. So you don't want to hear that marriage stuff and be with one man and all that's, that's putting a cramp in your style. So you go to these other channels and they tell you, put on some makeup, put on some, do the most aesthetically, and you're going to get a man to pay your bills. You could be a sugar baby or all of these other things. And that's temporary. That's first of all, being a sugar baby is a young woman's game. That's a young woman's game.
Ooh.
And secondly, it is the truth. And then secondly, you're 30 years old with kids, you're going to have to, the sugar baby, that's not your lane. And dating a man for his looks, that's not your lane. You're going to have to adjust. But see, they over there and they think because I'm still cute and because men are still blowing me up to have sex with me, I can still pull these shenanigans. Well, yeah, until you get that guy that busts your head open. And then now all men are,
trash.
Yeah. You tried to do a Cardi B. You got caught. He goes inside your head because we're trying to implement something that you heard on YouTube. And I tell, my staff, I'm like, just sit back. Our numbers may be small now, but time is on my side. These women are getting older. If COVID didn't teach a lot of women anything, it taught them you can't do this by yourself.
Say it again.
You can't do it by yourself. You're going to need that sugar baby stuff. And I keep telling them, these men are on to you. They see you coming. And COVID has made every man clamp down on his funds because the future is uncertain unless they are
to them.
Financially successful. Yeah. So they're clamping down on the funds. And if they were tipping out on their wives, unless they are in the upper 1%, they're not just out here with sugar babies. They're trying to screw for free just like the broke dude because he's trying to protect his family. That's game. Like he's trying to protect his family. This system is not set up for him. You know, it's very uncertain right now. So, you know, the
Yes,
sugar
ma'am.
baby game has not adjusted for the pandemic. They think that they're going to meet a sugar baby online, take his money.
Oh, yeah, sugar daddy, yeah. Right. But I said that weeks ago when we were talking about sexual marketplace value, and I mentioned that these dudes, if the wife is cool with it, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But what the problem is, the side chick all of a sudden thought she was the main chick, and she messed the game up. It's not him saying, I got to cut you off. It's the old lady saying, you better cut that broad off.
Right. Yeah. Wives are not stupid, and some of the wives are tipping out too. See, that's the other side of the game. So a lot of, especially down here in Atlanta, a lot of folks have open marriages because it's just too much to try to just keep people, you know, monotonous. But I'm against that. But anyway, people do what they do. I'm not judging you.
Yeah, just don't bring home no diseases.
You know, but what I tell them is they try to implement the sugar baby thing, the gold digging thing, and I'm not knocking it. I'm trying to tell you, you're not built to keep doing that. A lot of you're not about that life. There was a saying my grandfather had. It's called, if you're going to be something, be the best. Whatever you do, be good at it. So I tell them, if you're going to be a hoe, be a good hoe. They can't be a good hoe. A good hoe is silent. A good hoe can walk in a room full of people, see the dude that she's smashing, they have an arrangement, and talk to him like she never met him before, because she is protecting their arrangement, because if she blows his cover, that messes up her money. That's a true hoe. See, they want to be hoes, or at least they don't want to be called
They want to be vocal hoes.
Right. They want to emulate the whole life, but then they catch feelings. That's not what hoes do. Hoes don't catch feelings. They'll tell you in a minute. Our business, we don't catch feelings. We catch flights, we catch wallets. We don't catch, feelings. So these women are caught up in these lies being told to them, and old game from the 80s and 90s. And so they think that they're going to get out here with these millennial men who don't even want to pay for dates now. You think you're going to get out here and pull those tricks? And the older guys are like, I want something for something. If I'm giving you money, I want something. So you're doing the same thing, except you're getting your feelings involved. So now you want to blow up his spot because you didn't know the rules of the game. When you come to Auntie Nicole, I won't get you your monthly rent. I'm going to get you the mortgage with your name on it because you're his wife. There's a difference.
I hope y'all wrote notes. We know y'all didn't do that. Y'all probably screen recorded it anyway. It's my content. But yes, I mean, Atlanta's a funny city. It is. It's beautiful women down there, but I think too many Northerners are coming down there and they're messing the mindset up.
I mean, we're blue. We're blue, so that's proof
that sucks. That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
You sure you're not purple yet? I figured y'all would be purple.
No, yeah, well, I actually predicted that we would go blue in 2016. So I'm 4 years ahead of time.
Yeah, that
because
was weird.
I knew the trend. It was so many New Yorkers and Northerners coming here. Yeah. Californians are going to Texas. So I look for Texas to become a battleground. Maybe not 2024 as much.
No, probably 2028.
Yeah, Texas is going to be a battleground. So I'm a conservative. So I believe Florida is going to have to stay. I can talk politics. Let me hush. But
hey, that's fine with me. I mean, politics does affect Black people a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's also going to affect their relationships, because let's say you finally meet someone, you vibe, you find out they down with Stacey Abrams, and I'm like, nah, I don't know. You ain't gonna slap no cheeks that night. I'm just saying. She's like queen down there right now.
if you just ask them like key questions, they don't even have the answer to it. A lot of these women are Democrat because they're not into politics like that. They don't read, they're not that deep into it. So it's just what you do as a Democrat. But if you ask them a couple of key questions, you find out, oh, okay, they're not really into it like that. They're just doing what they're conditioned to do.
Right, because it's trendy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have you come back for politics.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I love talking about it.
Yeah, because I actually want to do a panel after the first 100 days. I actually want to have a panel with Black people on my days. I might title it.
I'm trolling the Democrats for the next.
Oh, you are. I stole that idea from you. I did that on my interview yesterday. I said they got 1,500 days. I'm going to troll them every day, and all I'm going to say is this: day whatever. Kamala still didn't do nothing for Black people.
So if y'all see me in Roland Martin's chat, just there's Sister Nicole doing her thing. I am trolling them for 4 years. This is what you wanted. You have a Democratic Congress. You have a Democratic president, a Black woman whenever she feels like it, vice president. There's no reason why the CBC can't get some legislation for Black folks. There's no reason why Raphael Warnock, who just got elected the other night, there's no reason why Stacey Abrams and she's not a part of that, but she is definitely influenced. There's no reason why you people can't get some legislation done. And when they don't get it done, because that's their track record, I'm going to troll.
Because I said that CBCs, I call them the Congressional Black Couscous. They're so vanilla, and you got to add, So you can take it if you want.
Waters, she is like.
She's a clown. How are you a Black woman with all that influence in Southern California? And your hospital closes in a decade, and I have health systems here in New York that have been around for 70 years. How is that possible?
How much legislation did Adam Clayton Powell get done in his terms in Congress? How much legislation? He did more legislation, one man, Black man, during the civil rights years than the entire CBC's existence. How was it?
Yeah, I did a whole show on the CBC. I even thought one of the dudes, I forget, like Butterworth or something. I thought Butterfield, and I thought he was white. I was like, "How y'all letting the white boy in?" And then I found out he was Black. I was like, "Oh, this must be Kamala cousin." Anyway, I hate that woman so much. I can't stand her existence. I can't. And the fact that she claims to be half Jamaican, I can't stand her existence, boy. They don't even bring her up on the island.
You heard it from me first. You will not be able to tell a lot of these Black women anything for the next 4 years. You thought on TV empowered them, and Tyler Perry, Scandal, and Iyanla Vanzant empowered Black women. Oh, this is the next level. You're not going to tell. Oh, and Michelle Obama being in, because they didn't vote for Barack, they voted for Michelle. So just so you know, you're not going to be able to tell Black women anything for the next.
I know. Oh, imagine if they kick that man out for incompetence and she take that oath. Lord have mercy. I even said it too. I was like, you know, I don't know if you remember, Simone Sanders was sitting there crying on Twitter that she didn't get the press secretary job. So I said,
what he's going to do, he's going to give token Democratic elites positions, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Right.
That's how
and I even said, I was like, what administration is going to have that woman talking about what's going on in the world every day? Nobody's going to want to hear that. Besides, she looks like Magic Johnson's son's twin sister, but that's okay.
You know what we're going to get? We're going to get certain black Democratic elite will have direct access to the White House via Kamala Harris. That's what we'll get. Nothing more, nothing less. And name.
Yeah, I'll try to miss those
black
meals.
People are not getting nothing. Yeah,
you know, I'll try to miss those meals.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a show tomorrow night. It's basically I'm calling the State of the Black Union. Okay. They're not gonna like what I'm gonna say tomorrow because I think Black folks don't understand this is an omega level threat right now.
What we just did was a colossal mistake. We just did a colossal.
I want Ice Cube to come out with a video of him ripping up the contract with Black America.
I mean, my thing with Ice Cube is, who are you? The nerve of these ninjas to come from a man who's been married over 20 years to the same woman, no scandal. He's successful millionaire, and we always
multi-millionaire.
Yeah, and we're always fussing about the celebrities doing for black people, and here he comes, which he didn't have to do. And
worked with black men to do it. There was the problem.
So what is the problem? And the problem is he didn't include the Democratic elites, the black Democratic elite. He didn't include them, and he took the initiative to do something because he can, and he
went to the conservatives for it.
Right, and he was just having a conversation, which is what Malcolm X encouraged us to do in the first place. He encouraged us to be middle of the road, make them earn for our vote. But the guy that everybody voted in told you all, I'm gonna holler at y'all after you do what I told you to do. Now get back in there and vote. That's what he told you to do. President Trump, because he's still my president till the 20th, he told them, look, I'll listen. His staff said, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, we'll take a look at it, you know.
And then amended his own plan off of that.
Right.
I'm going to say it again, black folks. The platinum plan is dead. There goes y'all's reparations.
Yep. We can forget that. That's not happening.
You're never going to get reparations now.
Let me tell you, you had that
man by the balls.
I'm going to say something really controversial.
Say it.
We had a better chance of getting reparations with Trump than we do Biden. I'm going to tell you why. Because Trump is ballsy. He does what he wants to do, and he'll do it just to say, I can do what I want. He's that type of alpha male that said, I'm the head person in charge. And if I want it, I'm going to do it. He's the type of person who would do it. Biden is telling you he's not going to do it.
Beta.
Trump would do it just to spite people. You see what I'm saying? That's the dude that'll do it. Just my 2 cents.
Nah, you're right. You're exactly right. We all know Biden's beta. We know this. God.
We made a colossal mistake. A colossal.
No, yes, we did that day, but we also made a colossal mistake that Saturday when Biden got the elect. And people were outside twerking and throwing up. Black folks shamed me that day. I told them, I'm never going to forgive you for this. Yeah.
Well, you know,
there's a Black Civil War coming after the 20th. That's the day the Black Civil War starts.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'm gonna explain that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I get this.
It's going to be black people and ninjas. That's just what it is. I know that sounds really, really bad.
You want a funny joke about that?
I mean,
you want a funny joke?
Well,
I said if the government ever introduced legislation that black people can go write ninja on their driver's license, there would be a line outside the DMVs. Just because of just for clout.
Yeah. It's really sad. It's just, I do believe that the extremists on the left are using Black Lives Matter to push certain agendas that are only going to hurt the black family. They are not pro-family. They're anti-Christian. They're anti-black people. But we won't find that out. And hopefully the Republicans, I'm rooting for a Pence-Rubio ticket. And hopefully, you heard it here, folks. And hopefully, if not, they'll find a more moderate Republican, or it could be Rubio Pence ticket. That either or. But they need to bring in those Latinos. The Republican Party needs to be more exclusive. I'm the first one to say that. But
I kind of want to amend when you're finished.
Yeah, when the Republicans become more exclusive, the Democrats are in trouble. Because a lot of black people are already conservative.
Truth.
They're already conservative. Yeah.
I said this last night too. I think the Republican Party, I also said this during the election cycle, whichever party loses, the other side has to get younger. And they're going to have to change their thinking. So the Democrats won, the Republicans, you saw it's nothing but a bunch of old heads. You've got to get younger people in there. Even if they're independent, but they represent the Republican Party, you need to get them.
Right. even if they're rhinos. So
right. But they got to be the good rhinos.
They're going to have to court they have no choice but to court the light skinned Latinos. I know that sounds really bad, but when you look at it,
you could just say the Cubans and the Venezuelans, not the Afro versions.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the
gotta get them.
The business owners in the Latino community are already conservative. They're already voting Republican. So they're going to pull in that Puerto Rican, Dominican,
Venezuelan, Ecuadorians, El Salvadorian.
Right.
That clique is strong. And I even told Black folks this. Notice during this whole pandemic, when that first month, after that first month, what did Pelosi and my dumbass mayor up here say? Go visit your Chinatowns. Go frequent your Chinatowns. They did not say go to your Black neighborhoods. Go shop in your neighborhoods so we can cut down the spread, so we know where. If they even have said shop in your neighborhood so that way we can isolate where the COVID is bad so we can fix it. They didn't even say that. They said Chinatown because they knew Asian vote was going to be strong. And I didn't pick up on it, and that was my mistake. And it came to fruition down in your city, the way the Asians came out for Biden. And I said, damn, they're going to be the ones that's going to take Atlanta over.
And all this pro-immigration, I'm like, why are Black people pro-immigration? So they can outnumber us? We already fighting for what's ours. And now we're going to have to deal with
Black and brown. You can't have that right now. You can't do that right now.
We should have never had it, but now it's even dire. And when you try to explain that to some of these Black women, it's like...
you know what you say? I'll give you a secret. You know what you say?
What?
That most people didn't pick up on this. I'm probably sure you did because you're a business owner, so you probably picked up on this. They're not going for them degrees anymore. So all those idiots that ran out there and college girls talking about, yeah, I'm gonna step for Biden and all this. Unless you got skills on that resume, they're not gonna mess with you.
Here's another thing that should encourage Black men. That have this itch for Black women getting in their place. I'm gonna tell you right now, what we just saw at the Capitol, they're going to change that vitriol. You know how when Obama was in office, all these Black boys were getting killed? I predict that vitriol is not going to be killing Black women. It's going to be firing, not hiring them in these government jobs. That's coming. And
I said that too.
A lot of Black women. You said it too. A lot of Black women.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I said it after.
Talking about the public assistance. Oh no. They're not gonna get at Black women that way. They're gonna get at the professional ones with the degrees.
Talk to them, and you know where they are? Middle management. Human resources. Y'all's government jobs. Your floor managers at these corporations. Them white men, they gonna say we got to put our women right back up in there, and y'all gonna lose it.
Absolutely.
And what happens when you don't have a job?
White men, they're going to give those jobs back to Archie Bunker.
And what happens when you don't have a job?
They're going to start coming to my channel talking about, I want to be a housewife.
Right. But also,
watch it. Watch. My channel
play that game also.
In about 2 years. It's going to blow up about 2 years.
And remember, I don't know if you remember what happened in Cobb County a few years ago when they changed the Section 8 rules. What did they say? You're not sitting home anymore collecting a check. You got to be actively looking for work.
Yes.
So what's going to happen now? You're going to start putting your resume all over the place. If you're not in STEM research, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to get your resume and be like, okay, email management, okay. Oh, you seem lovely. Yeah, you seem lovely. Okay, we'll call you. Then you're going to have who? You're going to have some 17-year-old white girl come in there like, yeah, I need... can I work here? Because I'm still going to school and I kind of want to use it as a skill for my resume because, of course, now, then this is what I also tell Black people. White people and other races always think 6 weeks to 6 months to 6 years ahead. We think 6 hours ahead, 6 minutes ahead. So dads are telling their daughters and sons right now, listen, them summer jobs, I want you to go get a job where you can learn a skill, where you can go learn a trade. So now that 17-year-old, 18, 19-year-old might go into that job and say, listen, can I work here for my degree? The guy like, okay, you know what? You're 19. I could probably undercut you a little bit, and for a skill, and then I can hire you back later. And you already know I'm gonna cut my labor costs because now I don't have to train you anymore. Okay, sure. We'll work you out. So all like Nicole says, all you late 20s by then, your early 30s that think, yeah, I got this Mercedes and I got my house.
Better hold on to it.
You better have all that paid off and just worry about your property tax and your utilities. Because if you got a mortgage on it, you're gonna lose your house. And then there was last thing, there was a guy, he predicted the 2008 crash. He said there's gonna be a crash in the spring with the stock market. Who does that affect?
Black women. Because the thing is, Black men's stock is going to go up because you all are already mostly blue collar. Black women, and I spent a great deal of time explaining to Black women that blue collar can make over six figures. Blue collar can give you a like what? Are you going to be jet setting? Probably not, but you'll have a roof over your head. Your bills will be paid. Isn't that the point?
I get that trip every 3 to 4 years. But you'll get stability every day.
Right. And he can have his own business. Pipe
on the side.
AC, HVAC, all of these things, or a man works with his hands, masonry, carpentry, all of these things that make great money to support a family. So I look for Black men to start becoming firemen, infiltrate the police department, go to the military. I'm
going to mention that tomorrow too.
Yeah.
There's a draft coming. I'll just Iggy at that. There's a draft coming.
And they're going to come after the women too.
Oh, yeah. So, because remember, they fought for that. Remember them white feminists said, yes, they got pissed off that they said, oh, we are going to draft women.
Yes.
Black women, y'all were silent when they said that.
Oh, no. They're in bed with the feminists as long as it's pushing the Democratic.
No, but I understand it. But what I'm saying is when they mentioned that and the feminists got upset, Black women didn't say anything. They were taking their cues. Because Black women thought,
it's all geared towards hurting the Black men. But I predict, you heard it here, the Black male stock is going to go up. And all of a sudden, they're going to be, oh, I don't mind that he's a carpenter. I don't mind that he's, he works in HVAC. I don't need a man in a suit. Watch. So all of these things that they're saying Black men need to put up with, all of a sudden, what Kevin is talking about is really cutting edge because YouTube is usually 5 years ahead of time. When he's saying high value men don't want, it's not even going to be high value men anymore. It's going to be the average Black man. It's not a woman with kids, a woman with weave and tattoos. Even the average guy, the UPS worker, post office worker, he's going to be able to pick and choose, not just the high value man.
And then at the same time, y'all were listening to B Simone talking about she don't want no dude working 9 to 5.
See, she likes to get rich, so she can say that. See, I say what has to be said. That's what it is. And she's not even ADOS. I think she's mixed with some other culture. So she can say that, and our women just fall in line with just like little mice, just Pied Pipers, just not even thinking. And they're getting older. And so I just hope that they keep these jobs and save their money. And all of these women talking about my job, my career, I hope that they are prepared for what's about to come. Because I have my man. So
and I got my old lady, and bless her, she got me out of debt, through this COVID. So we took the government's money and got myself out of debt. So
there you go. That's how
we were trying to get a house, but that might not be feasible right now. But I'm financially set up now. We could do it later in the year.
Yeah.
Hopefully Biden's stupid ass don't change the mortgage rates, but it probably will happen. But, it is what it is.
Right.
Black people are fun, are we not?
We
take everything to the red line. We red line everything, boy.
We're entertaining. Best.
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Oh yeah, I try to keep it fun. So this was fun. Sometimes fun.
Make sure you check in with me tonight on, I don't want to date this, but make sure you check in. You all follow me on Clubhouse because it is popping on Clubhouse. and follow me on YouTube. And I'm literally everywhere. So just find me.
What time are you going live on Clubhouse? I'll check in.
Well, I'm doing a show for women right after this.
Okay.
I can tell you what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. I'm doing a.
Should men court feminists like ladies?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's tonight.
Was that like 8:00?
About 5 or 6 tonight.
5 or 6, cool. Yeah, because I'm doing a game show tonight on the channel here. So,
Good.
see who's more researched. So, I'm trying to do more varied content here instead of just yelling about how Black people are dumb. Because we're not. I'm gonna stop saying that in 2021. We're not dumb. We're just misinformed, and we don't do enough research.
We're children. We can go ahead and say we're children.
I mean, I just came home and I was driving through and people just still walking around like nothing's going on. I'm like, you guys understand it's about to go to hell very soon.
Oh, they don't.
And again, we're just like where we were last year. We're unprepared.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do in between those two shows, I'm going to send you the link to the show I did about COVID.
Okay.
I want you to listen to that because I did that with a Black woman. The things that I told in there, people even still telling me, yo, I did not think about it like that. Jesus Christ.
I want to hear that. Yes, forward that to me.
Yeah, I'm going to forward it to you right after we get off the show. But Miss Nicole Michelle, thank you so much. This was fun. I know we went from femininity to politics, but guess what? This is 2021. Yes, exactly. Especially in Atlanta, it all intertwines because now Keisha Lance Bottoms, she's about to become my mayor. Maybe. I'm trying to move to DeKalb County, so she might not be my mayor. But she's queen of Atlanta right now. And Stacey Abrams is going for that throne. And the way it's going,
well,
I mean, respect to y'all. Y'all been open since what, July? I mean, we still don't have indoor dining up here. They just cut it. They just cut it again. Schools every day could be they might just shut it down.
Atlanta's pretty much normal right now. So
yeah, I mean, I was actually gonna move down there in July, but that's when your guys' height started. So my uncle was like, "Nah, come back in 6 months." I was like, "All right, fine." Whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's time for me to take the family and head south because that's what they're all doing with the Black folks. They're pushing us south until we get to the ocean, and then we'll be like wading the water right to the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's happening.
Which is funny, and that should scare Black folks. Guess what, Black folks? Jamaica is an isolated island, correct? How come they only have about maybe 200 cases since this thing started? No, they had a little bit of an outbreak and they shut down for a week, but a week.
What does that tell you? And London is completely shut down.
Mm-hmm. You know what that tells you? Yeah, we got to go back to the earth. We got to go back to the organic, the real food, because that's one thing that they did in Jamaica, and I have eternally respect for that. They pushed an organic and healthy eating initiative when the COVID started.
Wow. Yeah. We're going to have to do something. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, ma'am.
So much. This is fun. We're going to have to do this again.
Oh, yeah. We're most definitely. Because there's other questions I got to ask you. Because I really want to deep more into femininity and masculinity in the Black community. Because I think those roles have switched. And we got to figure out a way to get it back to the way it was. Or we're gonna get dominated more than what we are now. But it was fun, sometimes fun. So just let everyone know where they can find you, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Everywhere, literally everywhere. I'm everywhere. Twitter, Facebook.
Are you still on that cesspool? Watch what you say on there.
Well, large part of my audience is still on Facebook because the old folks are on Facebook, Instagram, Clubhouse. I'm pretty much everywhere. Sign up for my email list. All that's in my description box on my videos or on Instagram. And join Clubhouse. Find me and join the conversation.
Yes, ma'am. And y'all know how I do. Everything's on the bottom. K Gravity Beyond on IG. Beyond Borders Podcast on IG. I'm on Parler, Kid Gravity Beyond, because that's probably going to be the new
Parler?
Twitter.
You're on Parler?
Yeah. I went there way before it started, way before it got hot.
Yeah,
so,
fine. Yes, and I'm on MeWe too.
On what?
MeWe.
What is that?
That's another platform. I think it's run by the conservatives, but I'm not sure. I know Parler is run by the conservatives.
Yeah. Yesterday they had a little bit of an issue because I think, Google took them off their thing. And I guess everybody went to go sign up, and it was very slow last night, but I think they fixed it. So I think it's good now. So
and also Rumble as well. So,
yeah, I'm going to start looking into Rumble too, to start putting some of the content up there.
Yes.
Because I don't know about YouTube. YouTube, I think in the next year, either you do lefty stuff or they're going to kick you off.
Yeah. Unless you're doing real left type.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I said when we get a lot more traction and we move, I'm going to start doing cooking videos, because everybody cooking, everybody's inside. So people need COVID meals. So,
Pretty much.
But yes, Nicole, I don't want to keep you from your show. So thank you for coming on. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Take care, stay safe, wear your mask and get your supplies. And remember, you're a man, masculinity rules. You're a female, femininity rules. But be cognizant of each other's feelings, because you bring those feelings together, feelings create a family. Take care, stay safe, and we're out.
I can go anywhere.